is brought to these communities.
Okay, so looking at all you have said, do you think do you think that the military have had possibly a cordial relation? I'm not trying to condone what the people have done. I'm actually not happy with what happened there. But what has come to mind is, has the security outfits sort of endeared themselves to the community in such a way that these kinds of things do not happen?
I think the military, on their part, I see one of the platforms that are doing their best to ensure that they endear themselves to the heart of the communities across Nigeria, across the entire country. But we have some let me say, some sentimental people who are made in their mind that they must always demonize our military, they must always blacklist them, they must always mistreat them. But the military are doing their best. What could they have done? They are our army. Why don't we own them? Our tax money is to pay them. We don't have any other army. This is one thing that I'm surprised about when Nigerians talk about the military as if we have another defense force. They remain our last line of defense. If we break the army, if we demoralize them, if we commonize them, international communities are watching us. Mind you, the world today is a global village. So what we do to our army depends on how the international community treats us. And I think we should be mindful of this fact. The military are doing their part. I'm sure the military would have carried out some civil intervention in this community and other communities in Delta State. The military would have tried to do several non-kinetic projects in this community and other communities in Nigeria, just like I'm seeing. So the military are always in the past. So the major pain is sentiment, political affiliation, and just mere hatred for our military. I think that's where the issue is. The military are doing their best to the community. They are trying so hard to ensure that they interact with the civil population from their programs, from non-connected programs. They are mixing up with society. So why don't we embrace them as ours? They are not working for themselves. The people that die today are fathers, they are uncles, they are some of them are even maybe baby grandfathers. Some of them are unmarried. So why killing Nigerians? They are Nigerians too. They are just wearing uniform. So I think the military have done their best. It is left for the community now to own this post, to own the military. It's left for the community now to begin to own our army. That is the only way we can get it right. If we hate the army and the bandits and criminals hate us, where do we go from there? Why don't we befriend the armed forces to ensure that they secure us properly? Give them timely and actually be intelligent to ensure that Nigeria is safe.
How do you think this will impact on, the military's operations across the country, not just, in the Niger Delta, but across the country? What are your concerns in this regard?
It's actually good. They are human, and of course they feel pain. They also have families that look up to them. So it's actually going to create some impression about the civilian populace among them. But I'm sure, like I said, our army is standing tall. Our military, our armed forces led by General Christopher Gwabi Musa will remain committed. They will remain confident in dealing with any issue across the country. I don't think it will take any toll on their operation. I don't think it will cause them to hate civilians. No, that's not true, because it is not all civilians that conspire to kill them in Delta State. It is some clique of criminals, aided by some community actors, aided by some sponsors. So I'm sure their morale is still high, and they're going to work as if nothing happened in this country.
Yes, the community is also said to have been raised. The residents have fled. Of course, like my colleague Theophilus said, now the memories of ODA are still, very fresh. And a number of Nigerians are even, in support of, a reprisal attack, even though you have said that you expect the military to be professional in its work on this matter. But with a deserted community that has also been raised, what happens now?
I do not have fact if the community was raised by the military. I do not have such fact, but I'm also very sure that this same criminal that perpetrated this act could also raise that community to give the military a bad name. One thing I'm sure the military is doing, the military are in the community to look for these bandits. So wherever the criminals are, the military should go all out for them. If they should do anything to ensure that these criminals are brought to justice. But I am not sure the military will start burning people's houses. I don't think the military will do that. The military are more professional than that. Those things flying on social media are coming out from some miscreants who also don't want our military, are coming out from some miscreants who want to discredit our communities. The military do not have any intention in bringing out the community. We have a civilized president, we have a civilized chief of defense staff, we have a civilized chief of army staff, and I'm sure they're going to be professional in dealing with this criminal. But any measure against the criminals I will support it. Any measure against their sponsors, I will support it. And one thing again, I'm going to hammer on are some members of international communities and NGOs. Let me tell you a very brief scenario that happened recently. I was trying to do a program, a non-kinetic program, to de-radicalize youth in one part of this country. And we sent a request to one of the international NGOs for support, two of the international NGOs. Their response was very terrible, very unacceptable response. They told us that we are not eligible because we are supporting the Nigerian state and the security forces. What this means is that they want an NGO, they want an organization that will call out and be blackmailing the military and be blackmailing the country every day. I mean, what kind of thing is that? It's our country. I don't have another country. And we have no regret. We are going to be supporting our military where they do well. We are going to be bashing them where they get it wrong. But one thing we must do is that we have just one country, one army, one armed forces. And we cannot we cannot degenerate them for any reason, except where they are wrong, and we'll remind them probably that they are wrong. But until they do that, until they get it wrong, we will continue to praise them. We will continue to tell their positive story. So that's the impression some international organizations have against the Nigerian army. And they are some of the people sponsoring some of these needless social media attacks, needless publications against our armed forces. Sometimes they don't even violate human rights. They want you to tell a story that they are human rights violators, and that is unacceptable. In our organization, we will never do that. So I'm sure the military are professionals. They will not be demoralized in this, and they will not go about and burning people's houses. These houses are being burned by those criminals. They are being burned by some propagandists who want to give military a bad name.
Okay, so earlier you had mentioned about the image of Nigeria in the international community. Just tell us, how does this situation our image abroad?
This situation will paint Nigeria as an unserious country if nothing is done. You look at what happened in Israel versus Gaza. You know what happened when some soldiers were killed. Now, every country will react when you kill its army. No country will take it lightly. The army are not chickens. They are our heroes. They should be protected. They are peacemakers. They have no business in your party. You cause your conflict and come and kill them. What's that? So every international community will look at us as an unserious country until something drastic is done. These culprits must be arrested, and their sponsors, I emphasize their sponsors and their sponsors and collaborators. They must all be brought to book, paraded on national television, and are properly dealt with. The Nigerians must know, the international community must know the actions that are taken against these criminals that killed our soldiers in cold blood. This is unacceptable. This is very, very unacceptable. So until that is done, the international community will not take us serious. But I want to just say that I'm very happy because of the clear directive the president has given, because of the clear directive the chief of defense staff has given, and the action the chief of army staff is taking to bring this culprit to book. They should go all out. They must search every nook and cranny of that community, every nook and cranny of the creeks, to ensure that these criminals are brought to book and face justice. And the judiciary also should do their part when they are eventually brought to the court, not to set any of them free when found wanting.
Right, and communal clashes, because after all, these are brethren from the same state and all of that, but they are rampant, and it doesn't just affect Niger Delta region now, even in, Jos, where you operate from, and you've been giving us crucial information about the violence there. Let's just look at, the broader picture, as in what kind of instigated this unwarranted killings now, how they can snowball, that's communal clashes can snowball into, deadly dimensions as we are seeing now. As a peace mediator, how do we find a way around this? How do we end this, at least to the barest minimum?
Communal clashes have a lot of dimensions. We have political, we have ethnic, we have religious, and we also have economic factors. These are several factors that cause communal clashes. But where it's snowballed into killing of one another is actually very unacceptable, and I think it should be condemned. And the community also must move to realize that they are one. The more you kill yourself, the more you destroy your asset, you are the one that is losing. Another issue that increase or that escalate communal clashes is lack of political will from government actors. So the governor of Delta State and all these actors must move swiftly to that community to ensure that peace is done. Maybe chieftain's title or something are part of the reasons why we have communal clashes. So government must be proactive. State government must take decisive action to end these communal clashes. I may not have the exact fact that caused the crisis in Okuoma, and the neighboring community who are fighting today. But I'm sure those factors I mentioned earlier are reasons why we have communal clashing. And the burden lies on the state government squarely and the local government to ensure that these issues are resolved. Sometimes economical, sometimes chieftaincy, sometimes political, and sometimes ethno-religious. So I think government must rise, state government at all levels must rise to ensure that these crises are nipped in the bud and the perpetrators are brought to book quickly.
Own view